minimum $60,000,
Correct.
you say, and a 5-year
Correct.
event.
I would say that this was something that Mr. Trone talked about right away. In light of some information related to the middle school, I would probably go tomorrow and take a look back to see what the middle school cost and difference, anticipated difference. But again, I still believe that this is probably a better option to do option number 2, pay everything now, as opposed to trying to have that minimum quote-unquote finance structure. It's really not a finance structure.
No, it's not, but I'd like to say
It's an obligation that First Energy requires from its customers.
When is the money?
It is due this month. In order for construction to continue, First Energy does not do any work unless they receive their money up front.
And Dr. Mitchell, oh, I'm sorry.
I think Steve actually had a question.
Yeah.
So the funding that we went with option 2, there's enough monies within the change order,
Contingency and change orders, yes. We have the funding available for that. But it will greatly limit and impact our change order process moving forward with contingencies moving forward. We have been running very good with our change orders, and this is a big hit. No, it was an approximation. The First Energy came through, they had a calculation below 250, but they had to recalculate, and she said it will be approximately 250,000. So it may be up or down $1,000 or $2,000, but it will be approximately 250. Correct.
Any further questions?
I guess if you just are, yes,
I will be.
that could be another meeting.
Yeah, there's not anything we can do within the time frame right now before the money, before everything is required. That was, but since, yes, once it's done,
That's a conversation.
there will be conversations that will.
Yes,
I think that we might want to have a conversation with them and have our solicitor involved in the conversation with them ASAP.
My conversation began with the solicitor when I first found out about this process to make sure that this was legit, because several folks said they didn't hear about this or think this happened, and they are our architects, we should know. When we reached out, Harry McKean knows, and Hay as well, and so do other homes and housing developers. So they are aware. I'm not sure why our architect does not get us.
This is a big hit. This is a small feature. It's not a small amount.
Any further questions? Dr. Mitchell?
Yeah.
If we have to, and let's say we don't want to get into a battle with the architect, obviously, because that costs lawyer fees, but if we have to, do we have the $6.1 million sitting there to go back on? Is that all?
We have our construction funds that this board approved just a few months ago to allow Tom to pay the bills with that money that's there as needed.
That's needed. I mean, if we need more contingency,
Yeah. We do. We have a little bit. There will be some left in the change order and contingency fund. However, like I said, it will be substantially impacted.
my biggest concern is not paying the lawyer $60,000 to fight the architect.
I think that's a determination that I will share. with
That's the
you
only thing I'll
when
just
I
say
find out.
on that, sorry.
Yep. Understood.
How much do we have left in the construction?
So we'll get to that in just a second. Sorry.
I don't have the figures.
Oh. You always have on your slide.
Does have it now.
We had about 1.8.
Gil, you're slipping.
How much was that?
About 1.8 million, whatever Gil has shown as being spent, and reduce that off of that.
We're right around 1% of change orders.
Yeah. Which we've been really good at.
Yes. And I'd just like to say that Dr. Mitchell has learned more about utility and things like tariffs this month than he ever wanted to in his life.
Don't need that information.
He said it only has one tariff. When I worked with PG&L, they had about 5.
Thanks,
Okay.
Bill. Sorry to
Come
do
back
that.
to you. Back to you.
Next slide. Here. there's the numbers that I always show. It's the original project cost, the payouts approved to date, and the net change by change orders to date. So right now, we're at $664,670 in change orders, and I don't think that's, did we just pay some?
There's some that are still in processing.
There's some that we just approved. But we're still right around 1%. I think that number's about 0.9 something percent on the project cost. Next slide, Gary. All right, now there's project photos. That is the new kitchen. And you can see the roofing steel there, and the covering steel has since been put on a lot of that. Next slide, please. That's your commons area, looking into what's going to be the cafeteria area, and the doors that are going in there. You can see the building steel installed there. Next slide, please. That's your new E-wing entrance with the new doors in it. Next slide, please. There's a ceiling track installed in one of the first floor E-wing classrooms. You can see the classrooms painted. Next slide, please. Same thing. Next slide, please. There's your new bathroom flooring and the new bathrooms. By the end of this week, we should be able to get back in there and they'll start putting fixtures in there. They like to let that sit for a week before we get the traffic on it. Next slide, please. That is the view of the new cafeteria for the first floor D-wing cafe. It's a cafe. That's going in. The partition wall that used to be up across this whole area here has been taken down so that they can work on it. So you can see from the office into what's going to be the commons areas. That whole area is opened up now. Next slide, please. That is the middle school commons area on the second floor at the entrance into the library. This is the ramp on the left that was there. All the structure was taken down and the new steps were put in. You can see the fancy wall up here. Next slide, please. That's the flex space in the old admin area off the old lobby. Next slide, please. That's the wrestling room in B1 lower. The wall in the back is just put in. And off to this area here is the new corridor that goes all the way back to the back. Gets access to that entrance. Next slide, please. That's your architect's rendering. Next slide. And that's what it looked like on the 2nd of June. So we're pretty well. These strips up here have to go in yet. There's like feature strips that go in here at the right at the top of the building. And other than that, the front end is pretty well complete. Is that the last one, Carrie, or is it more? That's it. It's kind of short. I can only show you so many pictures of rooms being worked on. I mean, they all look the same. Any questions?
No, I do have a question, sorry. Any update on the concrete that is being tested?
Yeah, as I said, the retaining wall is within spec. It's at the spec. The curve, the column, I call them pilasters, the column footings are being poured and they will be tested. And as I said, if that would have to come out, it's an easy job because it's not in the building. It's the appears to support the canopy that comes out from the building.
How many tests did it take to get approved?
Pardon me?
How many tests did it take to get approved?
They took 6 cores of the wall, which is what the minimum amount that the structural engineer said he wanted. And he wants 1 core in each of the 2 piers, and he gave them instructions on where that core is to be taken.
So how is this a different test than the original tests that were being done, that it was failing?
Yeah, it's more of a, I probably should put the pictures in there. What they do with this test is they take the core and they compress it with a hydraulic press until it shatters. And they measure the amount of force that it takes to shatter it, and that's direct correlation to what the PSI strength of the concrete is. So all the cores that they tested were over 4,000 pounds, which is what the minimum requirement was for that wall. And the piers, I believe, are the same requirements, so we'll see what they are.
So they're getting, you know, to like the, failing every testing phase to like the last one.
Yeah, I think what happened was the concrete testing agency that we employed was a little bit late getting to the site, and the concrete that they tested was concrete that had already had water put in it. It wasn't the concrete that was used to pour the footer in the wall. So I guess that's the story I'm getting from both tests. There's two independent testing agencies doing this. So.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Sure. See you next one.
Did you?
So good evening. So if you remember last month, I shared with you in my presentation some of the programs that our students here at Littlestown go to that are part of the IU transition program. Project Search, Gettysburg Outlets, you know, where they're learning job site skills and skills to be productive, you know, when they're done with school. So this evening, I thought it would be very nice for you to hear about one of these projects, because this is what we're all about. These are the great things that we do here at Littlestown. So this evening, Nicole Legore, she's the teacher of the Project Search, and she's been with the IU for 17 years. I've known her and worked with her all 17 years. She's the teacher of Project Search, so she'll share a little bit with you. But also this evening, Christian, the graduate of Littlestown this year, and he went through the program, and he's going to share a little bit of information of the program and what he's going to be doing now that he's graduated. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. So, we'll tell you a little bit about Project Search. It started in 1996 at the Children's Hospital in Cincinnati, Ohio. Erin Ryle, she was the director of the emergency department there, and she realized that there was a lot of jobs that could be done by students to help out to learn work skills. So she started this program, and now, since 1996, we've gone from 782 sites throughout the United States and 9 other countries. And here in Pennsylvania, we have 23 Project Search sites. And what's been so neat over the last 3 or 4 years now, our student interns get to meet on Zoom with the other 23 sites and talk about what they're doing. And we do that about 2 or 3 times during the school year. So we got to meet with them across the state and see what they're doing with their programs. Since 2015, we started Project Search at Wellspring Gettysburg Hospital in 2015. Littlestown has provided 15 students over those 10 years, and we have 13 of them employed in the community. A lot of them still stay in touch with us. We reach out to them. They're doing really well and doing a really good job working in the community. So, a couple more things, and I'll let Chris just talk a little bit here too. Wellspring is our host site, and our team is made up of our school districts here in York and Adams County. The Office of Vocational Rehabilitation opens up a case for each intern too, so they can have that open case. So when they get employed, they'll have, if they're employed with, while they're in Project Search, Sherry, I didn't get to say her name too, she's our job coach, so we help train them in the program, plus if they get employed, while they're in the program or at the end of the program, we'll be there to support them for that employment and so will OER. So, and then of course our families are definitely a big part of our team too. So, and then what we do, our students aren't working, our interns aren't working with each other. They're in a department, and they have a mentor in their department, plus Sherry and I are there to help train them. They learn those job tasks in each department, and they're in a department for 8 to 10 weeks. And then in the afternoon, they spend like 4.5 hours a day in their department. Then we have lunch, then we come back, we work on communication skills, interview skills, budgeting. This year we did a lot about budgeting, exploring different careers. We're in contact with so many businesses in the community too. It's really complement, like Gettysburg College, they usually will contact me in the spring and ask, oh, we might have some jobs. So we always try to make a trip out there to see them. So our whole idea is to get everybody gainfully employed by the end of the program. And a couple things that they are getting a stipend. They get to work in 3 departments for 9 to 10 weeks. At the end of each work rotation, they come and do a presentation and for their families, their school districts, and their mentors in the department. And then Wellspan provides them an $8 lunch voucher each day. So they get to go, we teach them how to use that lunch voucher. We have 3 weeks of orientation at the hospital, so they get to know their way around, get to understand how much the prices are, so they stay within that limit. And we also do provide, Wellspan usually gives them 1 polo shirt, but we have a dress code following the Wellspan policies too, that they wear polo shirts, slacks, pants. If they're in food services, they need slip-proof shoes. And then Wellspan gives them a Project Search badge, which is like your keys, right? Because that gets you into all the departments around the hospital. So, if you notice some of the pictures too throughout this, I tried to pull some pictures of past interns from Littlestown School District. Here's one of our interns that was from the class of 2020. He's working at Mount St. Mary's. He's still there employed. I know I passed the other one up there, so you were handing out the diploma. He's at Gettysburg College, and he uses, that's the other thing, they learn how to use the rapid transit system, the share ride system, the door-to-door. So some of our interns over the years get their driver's license, they come and show us I've had them come and show me their driver's license, and they've saved up enough money to get a car. But some maybe don't want to learn how to drive, or are not ready for that, so they use the share ride system, so we're there to help support you use that share ride
Because I
system.
just want to share, because part of the program is they have to do their own transportation. So we don't transport them, they don't get on the Littlestown bus to go. They have to learn that as part of
Right,
the
and it's
work
really important
experience.
because like, if you learn how to pull up your ride from your phone, there's a countdown, see when it's coming, and learn how to cancel or find out when it's late.
Or, and sometimes, they give you like a specific time, like say, 3 minutes, it can be like anywhere, one time, like a couple times, they didn't pick me up till like after 4.
Yeah, but it happens, and they always strive to get you to work on time. They tell us that at Rapid Transit, but the pickup sometimes can be a little, it's been up and down. This year was not too bad, we only had a couple of days.
Haven't missed a day, I was there.
So here's a lot of the departments that we're in. We're in emergency department, engineering, environmental services, food services, logistics, transport, on the nursing floors. And there's some more of our interns that were here from Littlestown, working in logistics, working on delivering meals to patients. One of them here is working with engineering with his mentors. That's the second time in the last 10 years that they have totally redid that fountain and painted it, and our interns has always helped with that. So they always look every year, they're like, we're not going to do that, when we do it. So, but a lot of, the first picture of the one student there, I have to tell you, she was working for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and she also takes time on 2 of her days off a month to come and volunteer at the hospital still, because she loves the staff. And Christian, I'm going to let him tell you that he really enjoyed the staff too at Wellspan. It's been great. So, Christian, I think that's my last slide. I'll let you kind of tell them your presentation.
Hello everyone,
Hello.
I'm Christian. I was an intern there last year. My departments were environmental services. My last department, environmental services. My supervisor was Ashley Heller. Shout out to Ashley and everyone there. My job tasks. I would like, good. That first picture is me wet mopping the baseboard on the ground floor. This is like our basement. There is me taking on and off a mop head off the mop handle, which is very hard for me at first, but when I practice, I would get it done like a pro. And there's me actually dry mopping a hallway in action. That's me in action. And every morning, I would have to like make sure I have bags, a cart, solution for the floss or touch points, and 3 bags for clean mops, trash, and dirty mops and rags. There's me folding, rags for, like one of the buckets for clean touch points. And there's me fucking spread sometimes across the street, cause throughout the year, we were filling in for some, helping out them a little bit of time. And final picture is me posing with some people from across the street, the Watson Street building from there. They love me there.
Good for you, good for you.
And there's me and my fellow interns doing a little team building activity. We try to get a marble through the pipes shooting into a bucket. You can't really see the marble bucket in the picture, but it's there. There's me and a couple of my fellow interns last year, Liam, up once before an interview at Chick-fil-A in Hanover. And there's me learning how to use a budget, or plan a budget. Thanks. There's me in decon tent. I think that's what it's called, I think it's called. And it's where you would you can't come, it's where you would like go to the hospital if you, but you can't have chemicals or gases on you. They wouldn't allow you in on that, so you would have to